Hello, and welcome to the presentation about the Lifeboats project, which is a project made by Marit Bente Norheim. I am Anna Maria from N14I, and let's do this. Hello, and welcome to the presentation about Lifeboats project, which is a project made by Marit Bente Norheim. And I am Anna Maria, you know me from N14I, and it's mainly about my work with this project because I'm working as a student helper right now at Kommune with Dorte, and I will tell you a little bit more about what am I doing there. Yeah, let's do this. And here we have a small agenda about what I'm going to talk about during the presentation. So as you can all see, there will be a small introduction, who is Bente, then the introduction to project in the general, and then a little bit about all of the three ships, and then concretely about my work in Kommune, which is about the Jomfrureise, which is their first road around Denmark. Well, and who actually is Marit Bente Norheim and what is she doing? She is a Norwegian sculptress who right now lives in Denmark, but during her life she traveled and studied in many different countries. She lived in India, and during her academy studies she lived in Italy and Great Britain, in London specifically. And during her lifetime she created many different exhibitions and public sculptures in, for example, of course, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and she has her sculptures in all around the world as well, as also in Iceland or Greenland, in Great Britain. She was lecturing also, for example, at the Royal Academy of Art in London. And so what a little bit more about her work. She works mainly with concrete, and she always gets back to this material, but she also works a little bit with bronze, stone, and different plastic materials. And her way of perceiving her sculptures is that she always tries to find some kind of a context or place specific to not for them to be just somewhere or something, but to have their specific story. Yeah, to just be in the context. It's very important to her also to work in a community of some kind of a social participation, which may lead to participation and to cooperation with, for example, schools, for example, with kids. Many of her works are actually also created a little bit by small children. As you can see, the top picture, which is in Sæby, here in Denmark, in northern Jutland, there are small pieces made by children on that sculpture. And very important for her is also the interaction with the public with the sculpture, which is also very important in her next project as well, because she started working with this feeling and this movement in the sculptures, as you can see. And for example, it started with the moving angels, and then it went to the camping women, which was a project which transformed the camping vans into sculptures filled with stories and memories and music, and just made something completely new, which was also a completely new way of interaction between the public and the sculpture. So, and her work with the movement continued and took a different way. It started with the angels and with the camping women, and then it transformed into the Lifeboats project, which is her, well, not the newest, but the last project which she's still working on. Lifeboats are three huge, immense sculptures in the shapes of the women, which will be floating, and hopefully very soon, on the European rivers. It's a very long journey since the idea first came, and it has been more than 8 years since she's creating this. And the main one of the main things also in her work, one of her main fragments is to work with the woman and with the femalehood and with the being a young woman, mother, and so on. And this is all, oh, well, not all, but very important in the Lifeboats project. As you can see, there are figureheads which are usually used in the front of the boat as their guardian. They are supposed to guard the boat, but in this way the figurehead has changed and it become the whole boat, which is also a symbol of the safetiness and so on. But during this process, it was very difficult to manage everything that was happening around, because it's not one statue, and it's actually needs to work. So there has been so many professionals and so many experts who were also in the work. Yeah, so for example, of course, professional boat builders, concrete experts, ship engineers, so many volunteers who were helping on creating a boat out of concrete, because it's believed that a boat made this way can last for more than 100 years, but it's very specific to make this boat, and there is needed to be so many people who will be working on it. Also, there was created a self-governing organization who is trying to find money and funds for the lifeboat. And so many collaborators has put their hand into the project that it's maybe not even possible to count it. So there's also a lot of administration, and it's not just about the artistic process, but it became so much more. And her work with movement evolved from the angels and from the camping women, and it came to lifeboats and to an actual sculptures which can float on the water. That was her main first idea, and then she worked with it a little bit more, and with the context of her and her one of the main and central aspects of her work, which is to be a woman, to work with that womanhood, to female. She created the idea of the 3 women in different stages of their lives. Also, second thing is that the figureheads that are usually on the front of the boat, now they became the whole boat. So they are usually there for protect, to be a guardians for the safe journey, and now they became the whole boat, so they are even bigger and stronger symbol of the protection. This journey of these boats has been maybe a crazy one, because it's since it first started as an idea, it's already 8 years, and since then there was so many people who were involved in this project, from of course from her as an artist, to professional boat builders, experts on the ship's engineerings, volunteers, so many volunteers, but different artists as well in different fields, because for example, every boat will have their own music, and there will be different performances happening around all of the boats in the different harbors, and so there was actually so much stuff that already happened around the project that it needed different administration. There was created a self-governing organization as well, which is trying to find funds and to make this whole thing possible. One very important thing is that they will be flagships for Aarhus European Capital of Culture of 2017. So Aarhus is actually a huge part of the whole creation of the boats, and probably it wouldn't be possible without Aarhus being an European Capital of Culture. But of course, it's not the only sponsor. There is much more. There is also Jorin Commune, and you can see all of them on her webpage, of the webpage of the Lifeboats. But since there is such a huge opportunity to be and to work this for Aarhus, the ships will start and sailing, and promoting the Aarhus in this year, and hopefully they will continue to promote Aarhus also next year when they will be traveling around Europe. The idea also about around these boats is that it's about the exchange, that it's about the artistic exchange, that they are actually as a floating cultural houses which are bringing culture to every city, and they want to also get some more and to find more people and to create more stories. And it's something that has never been done before, so it's totally something unknown, which also brings us to new thoughts about how we can do this, how things can be possible with when they've never been done before. Now, very shortly, I will introduce a little bit every one of the boats, and you have a special occasion to see all of them, to see how they were made and so on. So the first boat is My Ship is Loaded with Longing, and it's the young boat. It's the young woman who is looking to the world with expectations. And inside of her, there is a huge, beautiful chest, which can contain thousands and thousands of letters of people who wish for something or dream for something. And there is already many letters all inside of her. And as they will be traveling, we hope that that the chest will contain more and more and more, and it will never be open. So all the wishes will be sealed there forever. As you can see, they have very specific eyes. Every boat has different eyes, and they found a very good glass maker who created these beautiful eyes in a very specific way. The second boat is My Ship is Loaded with Life. So as you can see, she's carrying baby, and she's looking both ways. She's looking, in the front, and she's also guarding baby. On the small pictures, you can see how all of them were made, and it's a very interesting process, because after the boat is done in a wire completely, then there needs to come around 100 people, and they are working for around 3 days and pushing the concrete from one side to another so that there will be no bubbles and no spaces between. And as you can see, it actually works, because this one was the first one who already flowed, and it was a very successful trial. So we believe that all of them will be ready very soon for their ride. This one specifically will have auto portraits of children from the inside. There will be also workshops and so many kids. We hope that they will be able to contact many schools in Northern Jutland, so that kids will learn a little bit about, for example, how to create a self auto portrait, and then some of them will be selected and they will be put on the inside of the belly, actually. And we hope as well that there will be more and more of those self-portraits, and as they will be sailing all around Europe, or maybe more, there will be still more and more, and there will be still more and more stories to come. And the last one, My Ship is Loaded with Memories, is the old one, who is carrying everything that happened to her. And she's very different, of course, as the others, because she's also carrying an actual more statues or figureheads, and it's 19 women, which actually lived or are still living. Every one of them has a very strong story, and there will be videos from the interviews with these women, we hope, on the webpage, and so there will be a possibility for public to get to know them, to know every story, because as I said, all the project is very important about and very considering the stories and the impact of the stories. As you can see, also there will be so many cultural exchanges during the whole project, as the photo on the top You can see the performance which was happening inside of the boat before she was casted in the concrete. It was a dance and singing performance, musical and dancing. And also there is one figurehead in the end of the boat, which is anonymous. She doesn't have a character or a story. And this is also another case of the cultural exchange which will be possible, because every city, every harbor that the boats will come have an opportunity to dress her up, to create her a story, maybe a real one, maybe something which will be from folklore. They will be totally free in creating that one last figurehead. So this will be also one of my things to work on, at least during the next phase of the project, which will be Jomfrureise, and I will talk you more about it just in a second. And now, after 8 years, we are almost at the time when all of them will go and sail or by themselves, which is crazy and insane, and we are very excited about it. And the journey is almost starting. It will start in June, and it's called Jomfrureise, Virgin Tour, or yeah, Virgin Journey, because it will be their first time, of course, on the water. It There is so many things that still needs to be done of all of them on all the boats, but the schedule seems that it will be possible, and the Jomfrureise is almost planned. So let's check it out. Let's take a look at how it's going to look like. And Jomfrureise and the part when the boats actually will start to float, that's my job. Well, that's one of my descriptions of my work at the Commune. There are many things which I will be and I am doing. It started with the research for an app that we planned to do and we are planning to do, because there was an idea that it would be great if all of the database, all of the informations from the visitors could be somehow connected and collected in one place. So we were thinking of creating a mobile app where you can also have different features. So my job was to research the possibilities of the mobile apps, and how can you do also, of course, how can you use social medias. And but I actually found out that maybe for us would be better to use web page or mobile web page better than a mobile app. So this was one of the conclusions of my research. Other thing which will be the part of my job is the communication and dissemination of the project to the different harbors, because there will be 16 cities which the boats will visit during the summer. They will start in June, in the almost the end of the June, and they will continue from whole July and August. You can see a few of those on the map. They will start in Aalborg and they will actually finish in Aarhus, which is something new, because at first it was planned just to go around Limfjorden. But now they will actually end in Aarhus. So far I am communicating with Bente and working with Dorte about all the details of the journey. There will be needed so many emails to plan all of the small activities in the cities. As I mentioned before, the cultural exchanges, the creating the self-portraits of the kids, and to manage the story of the anonymous figurehead, and so on. So this is just the beginning of my work. But there will be so much more which will be needed to be done. At the beginning, there will be a party in Migdal in the ateliers, which also will be hosted, of course, by Bente, but also will be as a commune a part of it. So there will be also many things that needs to be done. To plan all the activities and so on and so forth. Yes. So the only thing for you guys is to come and see it for yourself, because it's going to be great, and I guarantee you that you've never seen something like that before. So just check it out on the webpage or somewhere where you can find it on Facebook. Of course, it's already on Facebook, and there will be so many updates about all the different places where the boats will be during the summer. So I hope to see you there soon. Bye.